With nearly 300 days until the first 2020 primary votes are cast, President Trump on Friday looking ahead to a possible general election showdown with former Vice President Joe Biden.
I am a young, vibrant man. I look at Joe, I don't know about him.
The 72-year-old Trump attempting to make a campaign issue out of the 76-year-old Biden's age.
If he looks young and vibrant compared to me, I should probably go home.
In his first interview as a candidate, Biden addressing several other issues that could dog his campaign, including physical interactions with women some found uncomfortable.
I have to be, and everybody has to be, much more aware of the private space of men and women.
To his recent conversation with Anita Hill about his handling of the Clarence Thomas confirmation hearings.
I am sorry she was treated the way she was treated.
An emotional moment on set, a question about Biden's eldest son, Beau, who died of brain cancer in 2015.
When I get up in the morning, I think about, I hope he's proud of me. I hope he's proud.
And on Friday afternoon, the vice president's campaign announced it had raised $6.3 million in its first 24 hours, surpassing Beto O'Rourke's $6.1 million.
Congratulations to Vice President Biden.
A half dozen candidates fanned out across 5 states on Friday, and attendees at those events say the vice president will have to earn their support.
I like Joe Biden, but I feel like there's a lot of baggage with him as well.
Does he have to show that he's more than just an extension of Obama?
I think that he needs to show who he would be as the leader.